it's the middle of the week, but we look very business-like. So
yeah, like very.
I like that, you know.
There's still some money to be made today.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes,
Still
indeed.
some business to talk about.
A couple of important meetings to attend.
You're getting it.
Very important.
But we need something from you. We need you to stay put for the next 3 or so hours. Well, 2.5. Or 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Yeah, about that.
Because we have quite a tight package arranged for you this morning. My name is Titilayo Oyinsan.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live. Now, you know that already. tvcontinental.tv is the website.
Yes, sir. And of course, Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Please send in those comments. Social media is always agog with that hashtag, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah. You can also download our mobile app from the Android store and the iOS store as well. So you can, of course, watch us anywhere in the world once you download.
Mobile devices rule these days. Have our app right there with you so you can watch us along throughout the show. And speaking of the show, we have quite a lineup.
Yes, indeed. Singer-songwriter Dami One is our first musical act for this morning.
On positioning yourself to meet the ideal partner for you, certified relationship coach Lakwe Suitor is going to be back, and she'll be talking on that particular topic. We've been talking quite a bit about those steps you need to take to meet the right person, and we'll be going further this week.
Yeah. Now, right after that, Dr. Patrick Ijewe, he's going to be back to talk to us about wellness and the external environment. Last week was internal.
Yeah.
And this week, we're looking outside.
Still on maternal health, when it comes to women expecting, Dr. Omolulu will be talking about postpartum hemorrhage and what it could mean. It's a very big word that, you know, very significant in that particular sector. You need to stay close for that one.
And joining us for a chat, we have Nigerian actor, singer, and model Segun Dada, popularly known as J-Go.
And our thumbs are green, so we'll be planting once again this week. On farming, we're going to be planting some ginger root, as they say. Seun Adetosoye is back to tea.
And joining us on SME is the co-founder of Hannah's Place, Hadiza Nyako. Hannah's Place, you know.
Yeah, the henna place.
If you've seen any henna designs anywhere around, it probably came from there.
Quite a lot of other amazing spa services they offer as well. But we also are going to be having join us someone who's going to talk about having a successful business and as a cash flow entrepreneur, talking about Tade Cash. He was here on Monday. As we're doing our very own SME week this week, and it's been interesting so far. So he's going to be helping us understand what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, welcome back, Titi.
Oh, thank you.
So how'd your break go?
Nursing a sore throat. Throughout, yeah, nursing, like really nursing it.
Nursing it.
Nursing it, like.
Oh my God.
I'm saying, because I've worked with my voice for many years, so I know when it's coming. You know when it's creeping in. You know, especially on the radio, if you're gonna have to talk for what, a few hours? Yeah. If your voice is about to go, you just know. So I've been doing everything they say you should do. Take oranges, vitamin C, drink warm water with lime and honey. I've been doing all those things.
Everything.
I've been doing everything, but it still feels like it's creeping.
It's there, almost there.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not just about drinking or taking stuff. It's also about seeing a doctor. It might develop or it might degenerate into something worse. Besides that,
God forbid. God forbid. It's not good.
There's a reason for science. It's because we can't forbid everything.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I do know, but I'm just hoping it's just gonna, there's always that hope that you're not gonna have to buy all those medications and
You don't have to buy all those medications if you go to the hospital quickly. That's the surprising thing. See, there are times when you're giving dosages that you have to use for 10 days, for example, and by simply going earlier, you could have used it for 5 days.
Okay, all right. So, somebody has told me to go and see my doctor now. I was like, I have to. I don't have much of a choice, but
put your hand on your neck and just command it to go.
It's gone.
That's it. Yeah, there you go.
gone.
There you go.
It's gone.
That, yeah.
When your throat is sore tomorrow, you have something.
Okay,
I already gave you.
Have
how
faith,
was
have
yesterday? How was yesterday?
Yesterday was fine. We had a few, you know how it is. It's a 3-hour show, so everything doesn't always go perfect. Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
You have a great show. 1 or 2 hitches, but it was not a bad show.
There's a line that a lot of people have been saying every time I meet them is, "Abe Rujo." You know how they say it. That
Oh, okay.
right? Have you been seeing the rain? Is that? That's how it is. That's how you translate it.
Yeah.
So
I
the
hope the rain isn't bothering you.
Yeah, something like that.
Bothering a lot of people though.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people.
It is.
A lot of areas are flooded. Major areas that are highly populated usually get flooded around this time. Again, because of amenities in the area, the roads are bad. But some other areas that have very good drainage, for instance, no matter how much it rains, it just drains away to another location. So
I always
like
tell
there are very few areas like that now.
yeah.
I always tell people 2 things. One, we can't keep blaming the government. Yes, the rain period is where you actually get to know how wrong things are, not just with the government, but also with ourselves. Because when you go to certain areas, you see waste products and you like if you go to Agege right now, it's a mess. We saw that on the newspaper headlines yesterday. It is horrible. It isn't the residents of Agege alone that will probably have amassed such.
Yeah.
It's a combination of things from around the state that probably ended up there, because sometimes the higher you live, the less likely for you to get flooded. So those who live downhill, for example, are the ones who suffer it.
Yeah, so all the empty bottles and all the,
you go to some areas, and then you're like, oh my gosh, people live here. But they do, and they can't afford to move because of such. And
But the one thing that I see that really drives me crazy, and it's not to slight anyone that still drinks pure water, but it's the pure water nylon. That pure water nylon that I see. So it feels like all over the world they're banning, plastics or things being sold in that kind of container, and they're reducing how much they use plastic. But here, that pure water nylon alone can block. If you put a pure water nylon in your sink, it's blocked your sink. Imagine a whole mass of pure water bags from God knows how many homes.
Well, it's not just pure water bags. We also have the bottles, the water bottles as well. The ones we buy 15 naira,
anything plastic.
Anything plastic. Do you understand?
we need
Even
to
bowls, anything plastic, actually have a problem. Even plastic bags, because we have, and that's why you see some places, especially in the UK, you are encouraged to recycle. You even get a discount when you recycle the bags.
This is like an opportunity for us to tell everyone, gather your plastics together and find someone who recycles and give it to them.
Yes,
you will make some change for it.
Well,
Let's take the news now.
Yes, indeed. Now, we begin in Abuja, where former Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Olisa Metu, has informed the court that the money which led to his arraignment by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, was paid to him by former President Goodluck Jonathan. The TVC News correspondent Celestina Iria was at the court sitting.
Trial of Olisa Metu continued today, with him being cross-examined by counsel to the second defendant, which is his company, Destra Investment Limited. The former publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party has continually maintained the fact that he received 400 million naira from former President Goodluck Jonathan and not the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sabo Dasuki. And the money he got was used to carry out a special national assignment as instructed by former President Jonathan. And the money was not diverted for its personal purpose and use.
The statement by the prosecution that Chief Olisa Metu spent the sum of 400 million given to him by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the former president, was spent on his personal use and for the use of his political party, the PDP, was debunked today to show that that money was spent for the purposes of special assignment on security.
I was just watching the cross-examination of my client by the second defendant. So since yesterday, what we have been doing is cross-examination. So they are cross-examining him on the facts already he has placed before the court.
Olisametu is standing trial at the Federal High Court in Abuja for allegedly receiving 400 million naira from the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki in 2014 without executing any contract. The matter was adjourned to 26 June 2019 for further cross-examination. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, the Chief Executive Officer of Innocent Motors, Innocent Chukwuma, has faulted the bench warrant issued against him by the Federal High Court in Lagos. Mr. Chukwuma says the order is an abuse of process taken too far by the court and made without jurisdiction. Mr. Chukwuma stated that he has appealed against the order and filed a motion for stay of execution on the order. According to him, there is no prima facie case against him, and the charge was based on suspected action of Innocent Nigerian Limited. The Federal High Court had on Monday issued a bench warrant for his arrest and 2 others over fraud allegations. Now, researchers within Africa and beyond have been brainstorming on effective measures for curbing the spread of infectious and deadly diseases through various result-oriented strategies. A venue was the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Lagos. A health correspondent, Jacqueline Ogo, reports.
Highly infectious diseases spread through various means, which include the air, blood, saliva, sexual contact, and more. To curb the hazards and deaths associated with these diseases is the reason why experts from Africa and beyond put together this conference for effective solutions. There are safety measures like the constant washing of hands, ensuring all forms of consumptions are hygienic, getting vaccinated, especially children, visiting your doctor and staying back at home to get well immediately you sense an ailment, keeping your toilet clean, and more.
Basic measure of controlling infectious communicable disease is by simple hand washing. That's the most effective. You leave your house, you come back home, the first thing you're supposed to do before you touch your children is to do what? Clean your hand, because it's the outside hand. When you shake anybody or touch somebody, you are picking germs.
About 10 years ago, when we were doing some research on malaria, so malaria killed about 3 million people globally. But since then, there have been a reduction in the number of deaths due to malaria. So because we are applying an approach that is functional, and one of them is bioinformatics. So what bioinformatics does is that it helps us to fast track the way of getting drug that will be effective.
The medical experts say some ailments are resistant to drugs due to the variation of genotypes, and some diseases are common in certain areas due to the specific attributes of some geographical locations. Unraveling the cure for such ailments, they say, demand in-depth research and proper funding.
Now we are having evolution of new diagnostic tools to be able to track emerging pathogens that old diagnostic tools will not be able to track. You pick this identity to develop drugs, to develop vaccines.
In the same environment, some people might be more likely to get sick and some people might be less likely to get sick. And that often relates to our genes. But if we can understand how that works, that can help us to design better medications.
Among the various infectious diseases are influenza, Ebola, measles, cholera, and HIV. Also among the deadly diseases are coronary artery diseases, which are heart-related, a stroke arising from high blood pressure, lower respiratory infections, malaria, type 1 diabetes, and AIDS. Both types of diseases are caused by viruses and bacteria. Jacqueline Ogo, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, San Francisco has become the first U.S. city to ban e-cigarette sales until the health effects are clearer. Officials on Tuesday voted to ban stores selling the vaporizers and made it illegal for online retailers to deliver to addresses in the city. The California city is home to Juul Labs, the most popular e-cigarette producer in the U.S. Juul said the move would drive smokers back to cigarettes and create a thriving black market. San Francisco's mayor, London Breed, has 10 days to sign off on the legislation, but has indicated that she would. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. Weather update is next, and after that, sports with Mary. Mary, lots of stories in the papers this morning, starting with The Nation.
Yes, The Nation newspaper has this headline. It says Southwest governors draw up anti-crime battle plan. State police top strategy to tackle kidnappers, others. More information on page 23. It also says here, Afenifere demands free education, security, jobs, others. Page 6 has more on that. 60 parties back INEC in server dispute. Court sacks Ekiti monarch over illegal selection process. Lawan says no jumbo pay for lawmakers. And apparently there's a row over Amosun government's guns and bullets. Meanwhile, MTN Nigeria launches 4G Plus in 4 cities, or in cities rather. It says, my priority for Kwara by Abdul Razak, and executive order likely on state legislature. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right, we've got a bold headline on the cover of the Daily Sun. Emir Sanusi hits hard. Oil subsidy is fraud, says Nigeria heading for bankruptcy. That story is on page 2. And up here we have Miyetti Allah, Southeast town unions back governors, say no to Fulani Vigilance Group. And some other stories down here on page 6. Governors lose more powers as federal government plans financial autonomy for state legislature, judiciary, just like local governments. Lawan gives September and October deadline for 2020 budget, proposes January to December cycle. Southwest governors okay state police, express commitment to protection of life, property. And finally, INEC server, don't celebrate yet, Atiku tells Buhari. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
We have the Guardian newspaper up next with this headline. It says, Southwest governors decry insecurity. OK State Council Police. Afenifere Tinubu meet Buhari, seek true federalism. Others. There's more on page 6. It says here, Yoruba leaders ask Osinbajo to seek God's forgiveness, insist region under siege. Why I fired ex-CJN Walter Onohe by president. Rivers communities protest against government's involvement in row with Shell. INEC servers controversy gets messier. Atiku insists tribunal didn't reject request to inspect INEC server. PDP heating up on polity with demand, 60 presidential candidates allege. APC electoral body distorting facts through crimes, or rather through cronies. Opposition party claims, and drama as HDP disowns petition against Buhari. Let me wrap it up with this one. It also says here, Nigeria heading for insolvency over debt servicing, according to Sanusi. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
Yeah, let's check out the Vanguard this Wednesday. Insecurity. Southwest governors insist on state police. Yoruba elders demand more funds for Southwest from Buhari. And Afenifere Agbekoya boycott security summit in Ibadan. Oshodi-Apapa Expressway, why we failed to beat deadline on gridlock. Task team explains. And on page 9, terrorists, jihadists have joined bandits in Zamfara, Army commander says. And active women participation in seafaring will grow blue economy, says Aisha Buhari. And some other stories here. 2019 polls, 60 presidential candidates back INEC over server. And up here, a couple of stories. Page 42 on politics. Southeast being treated like conquered colony, says Amici. And withdraw subsidy, save Nigeria from bankruptcy, Emir Sanusi tells federal government. And then finally, comments on kidnapping, Ohaneze, Pandef, Middle Belt Forum, others blast Oshibajo. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
We have the Punch newspaper coming up next. It says, Southeast governors, Autumn, Ishaku, others reject federal government's Ruga settlements for herdsmen. 10 die, houses set ablaze in Taraba attacks. On fuel subsidy, it says here, fuel subsidy, debt servicing, pushing Nigeria into bankruptcy, according to Sanusi. LCCI backs Emir's call for subsidy removal. NSE seeks partnership with CBN on banks' recapitalization. On insecurity, IG deploys dogs in train terminals. It also says here, Jersey land gives federal government conditions for return of 82 billion naira Abacha loot. And Southwest governors meet over insecurity, promise to tackle kidnapping. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
That looks like all that we can take on the newspaper headlines for now. We'll be back again, of course, with the headlines at 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah. Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues now with the traffic update. Lagos sometimes can be riddled with traffic, but we want you to be part of this segment as well. Please send in messages on Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter. Let us know what the traffic situation is like in your neighborhood, and maybe even take a picture. Send it to us. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. Giving you our first update from the Ojota area of Lagos. Now, Ojota bus stop at this time of the day usually is quite cramped, but as of right now, it is looking free. If, for instance, you're heading all the way to the island from Ojota area and you decide to take Ikorodu Road, you're going to have a 43-minute journey if you leave right now. The trouble spots you should come across include Antoni bus stop. You'll slow down a bit there. You'll also slow down around Fadeyi, Igbobi area. And now that area is going to take you about 10 minutes to go through. I believe it has something to do with the rain. The rain will definitely cause a bit of flooding around that area. But once you pass Jibo, you should have it free all the way till you get to Surulere area, which is Alaka bus stop. Talking about the place where you basically climb the bridge out of Surulere to head across Apapa Road all the way to the island. So let's just say Ikorodu Road is free all the way till Alaka, and then as soon as you board the bridge, you have it plain sailing until you get to Marina Road. Marina, as always, is going to slow you down by about 10 minutes, but you should be at your destination in about 45 minutes, give or take. While I have some more updates I'm going to share, but I want to hand it over to the team in the kitchen to see what they have.
Yeah, I'm just trying to open up a couple of tweets here.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to look at the axis around, okay, so Koto to AP and Mosalasi Alaja inwards or background. It's not looking too bad, but there's a high influx of vehicles, so but it's moving, steady traffic. And then high influx of vehicles also towards Second Gate due to parked trucks and a pothole as well. Now, return journey isn't bad. So this is via Auto Things, at Auto Things. And then free flow on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to Kara and to Berger, to Otedola, to 7-Up also. Not too bad, but it's building up very fast, but it's moving on this Wednesday morning. That's what I have here with me.
Okay, that's just about what I have as well.
Okay.
So, Titi, let's hear more from you.
All right, so I'm focusing on the area around Lasu campus, talking about Yanoba area of Lagos. And Yanoba is quite choked up right now if you're heading towards Orile bus stop. Now that's a long stretch on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway that you need to be a little bit concerned about if you're heading out this morning. It's going to take you about 1 hour, 20 minutes to get from Lasu to Orile. Now that is a long time to be on one road. But hey, just take it in your stride. The trouble spots are Yanoba. Then you also have Alakija bus stop. It's going to slow you down a bit, but then it's really free all the way till you get to Festac second gate, Festac first gate. Once you go through those little bottlenecks there, you should be fine until you get to mile 2. Mile 2 junction, as always, it's a major junction. Everybody's trying to get out of the house, out of their area, into that same junction. So please just take some patience. I do believe there's some potholes around there as well that are causing some tension. So please just take it in your stride. You should be at Orile bus stop in about 1 hour, 20 minutes. And well, good luck to you on the roads. Mary?
Yeah, so as I said, that's just about it for now. Most people aren't tweeting unless you've seen anything else.
Oh, no,
I think the weather is part of it.
All right, then. Well, hopefully you've been able to, maybe we've given you a little insight into what the roads are like this morning. But if not, please send in a message and we'll see what we can do. I'm heading into the kitchen, guys. What are we talking about?
Lots of stuff.
I see life is trending. I'm telling you, life is life. And so it does seem like, when we talk about life, everybody has their own experience. People have things they've been through. And it just makes me wonder, Yomi, you've lived a full life. And I'm sure you still have another set of those years to live. What would you describe as the most significant thing that has ever happened to you in life?
Significant, I wouldn't want to put it in those terms to say, okay, one significant event has happened. But one of my mentors said once that you arrive at life in stages. So everything in life is a stage. So remember that there was a time when your biggest desire was to write a common entrance.
Yes, and at least pass it.
Get into secondary school. So that was the biggest thing on your mind. So when you woke up in the morning, that was, you had all these options for schools that you wanted to go. You wanted to do well in your common entrance. And then after that, your biggest desire then became GS3. You had to write your GS3 exam. And,
oh my gosh, priorities.
And, this was what was, causing you sleepless nights and all of that. Then after that, SSE. Then after that, JAM. Then after that, So it's everything in life is in stages. Some of them are 3-year stages. Some of them are 7-year stages. Some of them are 20-year stages. But, you just discover that at every point in time, what you're supposed to do is just make sure that
you get it done.
And you're fulfilled at every stage. So if you can find fulfillment at every stage of your life, then you'll be fine. It's just when you then get a little bit too anxious about...
Don't you wish there was just some stages you could skip?
Skip.
Just
when you say skip, what do you mean?
Like I remember using Kandu to read for common entrance, and I remember my mom using ruler to knock my fingers whenever. Whenever I was falling asleep in front of the candle because hey, this is likely I'm going to either burn my hair or whatever.
Well, it was a stage.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what we're talking about.
But man, I would have liked to skip that stage.
See, if you didn't go through that stage, you probably wouldn't appreciate certain things you have now.
I don't
and you
know.
probably wouldn't know that your children need certain things that you wouldn't want them to be denied of.
I don't know. And then there are some particular people you come across in life, like you said, that just give you a hard time. And you're wondering, why is this person just on my case? There's a particular lady, I'll reserve her name. She's very famous today. But when we met, she used to work at an advertising agency, and I was like an intern there. And she just used to give me a hard time. Come, can't you tuck in your blouse? Why can't you stand up straight? Why are you dragging your feet?
She was mentoring you.
Yeah, but I was like, why are you this woman? Why?
You know something? Just as Yomi said, many people say it's probably the way I approach life, but I've never had it easy when it comes to work. I've never looked for a job, but the people I've worked with, we just always seem to clash.
Wow, okay.
We just always seem to clash. And it's been a learning curve for me every time, knowing how to better accommodate people. I would not exactly call myself diplomatic. This kind of...
You, diplomatic if I hear.
Like, I say what's on my mind and then I face the consequences later. It's a problem, especially in a work environment, but that's just the way I am. I'm always irritated when people are like whispering and gossiping and feeling sad behind, when you can actually express yourself. So for me, life has been
But then sometimes
very
emotions
interesting.
can be dangerous in the workplace, you know, when you show too much or too little.
People take advantage of it.
Yeah.
They take advantage of it.
Well,
I'm shaking my head right now.
one of the biggest challenges I found is, we're talking about life, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people peg their happiness and their hopes on...
Other people? Or
No,
certain
not other
achievements?
people. So the next big thing. So there's always the next big thing in your life. So your next big thing, like we're always saying, is, okay, for instance, your next big thing is to graduate. And then your next big thing is to get a job. And the next big thing is to get married. And then after you get married, the next big thing is to have children. So, but the problem is...
what if one fails?
That's not even it. So for instance, a lot of people think that the problem is money. But the problem isn't money, because when the money then arrives, you discover that it increases your happiness quotient a little bit, but it doesn't take it to
the next level. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So when the money eventually comes and you eventually get the children and you eventually get married and everything that you thought you wanted you have, you then discover that you're still not happy. So there's always that search, which is what the Americans call the pursuit of happiness.
Yes, the pursuit of happiness.
Okay,
And
so
talking
then
about
what
happiness,
exactly
you would always
does
search
that?
for happiness. That is life. You find out that when you actually earn something, it becomes a thing of, I have conquered it. And as humans, you just want to conquer new territories. It's just the way we are. It doesn't mean that you're greedy. It doesn't mean that you want more than you deserve. It just makes you human. You keep wanting to break new grounds. And that's why if you're not open to learning new things, if you're not open to, discovering new channels, then you're as good as dead.
So this is where I now mention parents who want their children to actualize their dreams for them. Because there are some parents that in the end, they don't achieve what they felt they were supposed to achieve in life, and then they try and force it on their kids.
Titi, there's nothing wrong with a parent doing that.
Are you sure?
Doing
Yes,
what?
I'll tell
Are
you.
you
I'll
sure?
tell you why.
So
Titi,
like, hold on,
Titi.
now, Mary, calm down.
Okay.
Now. So you have a doctor who strived and eventually started his own practice, opened up his own hospital, and his son wants to be a dancer. And this guy, this is his only son, and he's like, man, I built this up for you, but obviously the hospital isn't where it's supposed to be. He sent this boy to school, sent him to business school, done everything to make sure this boy is in the right position to take over this legacy of his.
And the boy wants to be DJ Copy.
Now, listen, Titi.
Wants to be
The fact that he sent that boy to those things, he has done what? He has invested knowledge in that child. Yeah. Sometimes when we don't get it the way we want it, we get angry. But there's nothing wrong with the parents projecting what they want on their child. But the thing is, do not put too much pressure on that child for that thing. But yes, it's okay to project, because you will learn things that will be useful to you in future.
Hopefully, this has been
Your child
useful
wants
for
to be
someone.
a DJ.
DJ Ducky.
Have a talk with him. Try and convince him. But if he insists after he's 17, then
We'll be back.
After all that talk about life and a bit too serious for the morning, don't you think? It's time for us to loosen up with our first music performance for today. And this time, it's by Damilola Dahunsi. Now, Damilola is a singer-songwriter who has been doing music since the age of 10. His first single was released in 2009, and it was titled Ashake. And his latest song is out, and this one is titled Yorinyon. So what is it with doing music with the local languages?
Yeah. I think doing music with the local languages, actually we're Africans,
yes,
and we need to do music in our own way, in a way that it will be relatable to our own kind of people. You understand? Ashake is a Yoruba kind of Yoruba name. Yorinyon is it's an Hausa kind of name that means.
So you keep singing about girls. You've talked about Ashake. Now you're talking about Yarinya as in a female. Okay.
Well,
You do a lot of love songs.
yeah, that's my forte though.
Oh, okay. So how would you describe your genre of music?
Yeah, my genre of music is Afrocentric. Basically, I sing, I write, so I do most genres, but basically Afrocentric and R&B.
So when you say Afrocentric, because sometimes when people say Afrocentric, they say R&B, you find out that there's a fusion of even way more than the Afro thing. So is yours exclusively Afro, or is it an infusion of so much, so many different sounds?
Yeah, the idea is to sing a song in an R&B, my R&B kind of pattern, but in order to relate with the African, the Nigerian kind of vibe, you understand? And the Afro needs to be there because if you hear the way I sing my song, for example, there's this kind of the Afro, the voice, you understand? The texture, the way I sing it, you understand? The Afro kind of vibe is infused into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you said you started music at the age of 10.
Yep.
Is that when you released Ashake? Like, you've been liking girls since then?
No. I actually started in the church then, the children choir. Yeah. So I started with the children choir, and from there, I graduated to playing the instruments. You understand? So, you need to start from somewhere.
Okay.
That's where
because I was like, well, it's
passion
never
came
too early.
from.
I know some 10-year-olds that are singing. Yeah. Okay, have a nice.
Not really.
Go ahead.
All right. Damn it, D1. Make me feel alright, oh my damn self.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Well done, man. That was a good one. To all the Yamias out there, that was for you. Anyway, so I'm in the kitchen today, so that's a big deal. I've got Chef Nathaniel with me. How you doing this morning?
I'm very fine.
Good to have you join us.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing lots of colors here, and it looks like something special is going to be going on this morning. So talk to us about what we are going to be having on the show today.
This morning we're going to be making giz dodo combo.
Giz dodo combo?
Yeah. It's basically gizzard and plantain.
Gizzard and plantain, but you have some...
Yeah, we have the
okay,
gizzard.
the gizzard over there is already steaming.
Yeah, and the idea is that I would normally, plantain is always fried, that it is dodo. But I want to have a mixture of both fried and boiled.
Nice.
Because boiled plantain are always healthy, especially when you leave it with the body. So that's why we're boiling this. So now mix
so you boil it with the back. Then, so are we going to eat it with the back or?
No. After we boil, we'll now open it. Then we'll now cut it. So we have both the fried one and the boiled one.
Okay, so we're going to cook this too and then fry these ones over here.
So we'll now mix it together and get a giz dodo.
All right.
So the basic for the gizzard roll, I've already shredded it into little
pieces. So it's already shredded over there?
Yes.
Okay.
So it would be able to cook faster.
Yeah.
Because if we leave it in a big size chunk, it will take a whole lot of time.
Yeah. So are we going to be frying the gizzard as well? Or?
Yes, we'll still fry it, but we'll first boil it to make it a little bit healthy.
So, so what else are we adding?
I'm going to add some little spice into...
A little bit of spice. What spices are these?
This black pepper.
Okay, just black pepper.
Yes, just black pepper. I'm going to add seasoning, salt, nutmeg, and rosemary. We're trying to make the food very, very healthy.
Very healthy. Yeah, okay, so I like that. Yeah.
We have nutmeg. These are spices that have been for a very long time, and we also have pepper mix, blended pepper with tomatoes and everything. We have our bell pepper. We have oil, and we have our scent leaf.
Okay, these are the scent leaves.
Yeah. To make it also
very nice.
Very nice. So
I like that.
Just going to add a little of it.
So
to spice up
the gizzard. Okay.
Yes. Just add a little.
So I noticed that you're not using too many seasoning cubes. You're using just one.
Yeah, you never even complete one. Just little.
Okay, just very little.
Because
usually I see a lot of people you can use like 2 or 3 to.
I don't know, but because we'll still fry the pepper mix, and we're still going to add seasoning too.
Okay.
So if we put enough seasoning here, and it will be too much.
Right.
So we just have to reduce it
Okay.
since it will still go under that. So we're just going to allow this to boil for.
All right. So I don't know if we can go over the ingredients for what we're doing this morning. So this is a special kind of giz dodo this morning, and Chef Nathaniel is going to be teaching us how to make it.
Just add a little salt.
So yeah, so a little bit of salt. All right, so we're going to let that cook for a little bit and then fry it.
Yes.
Okay.
So this should be on.
Yeah, so we're going to cook that, that one as well.
And after that, we'll fry the plantain.
Okay.
Then we'll boil the pepper mix. We're going to fry it too with the gizzard and with the bell peppers and scent.
So we're going to chop this off
we'll chop
and then put everything in there.
So.
Okay, can we just go over the ingredients? I don't know if you can see it on your screen right now. The ingredients for what we're making.
And we also have garlic too.
Okay, so we're going to be throwing in some garlic as well.
Yes, throwing some garlic and onions. So we're going to use to fry and also for the gizzard too. Just cut some little bits.
All right. Okay. So so let's just go over this. So we have the gizzard.
We have
of course our plantain that we're going to use for the pepper mix.
Yes.
Pepper
we have
mix,
salt,
obviously.
black pepper.
Black pepper for spice, seasoning.
Garlic, onions, our bell peppers, and we also have a little bit of tomatoes.
Okay, just to
spice everything up. And we have our vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil. That's really important. Yeah, of course.
Our scent leaf.
And then the scent leaves. I love these scent leaves.
Very nice. Yeah. And
so what else can I do with scent leaves though? Like. Can I throw this in tea, for instance? Because I like.
You can because of the aroma, and it's also healthy. Like maybe we have some like green tea. You don't just want normal tea. Just add it to it, and some other like ginger. You can also add ginger to it, and it also helps the body. And
exactly. So very good for morning.
Instead of you just going and taking medicine, some of the food that we eat are even medicine itself. So at the end of the day, we spend little money and time in the hospital.
Exactly.
Eating healthy food is really, really important.
So I like the fact that you're doing a lot of, you're focusing a lot on health.
Yeah,
today,
because nowadays people are really, really conscious of that health. Because if we don't take care of your health, the money that we're pushing after, we're going to spend millions of it back in the hospital.
Excellent.
So why not just take out of that little money instead of just eating junks or just anyhow food?
Exactly.
Eat really healthy food.
Eat healthy and eat well. Very important. Anyway, we will take a recess and return to the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria. I'm in the kitchen today. Well, by now you should have a smile on your face. Now, I've always recommended that you start your day with Wake Up Nigeria.
Very important thing to do. We feel really great about the fact that you're right there because we're the Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we mean it when we say it. We have something for everyone. Talking about you, your brother-in-law, the kids.
The kids are writing exams.
Right now, yeah?
Yeah. Depending on the week. Some are writing this week, some next week, but yeah. So all the best to the kids as well.
Yes, indeed.
No TV for now. Anyway, as long as you tune in anyway, we will be waiting to give you a show that you deserve.
It's 7 a.m. right now, or 7:02, and we're going to be here for the next 2 hours or so. My name is Titilayo Onyisong.
And I'm Yomi Ope. Of course, we're streaming live at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
That's a really nice hashtag. People have been using it quite a bit over the past
2 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's big. We need you to download our app right now. It's a really great app to have, by the way. You can watch our show live from the app. Just download it from the iOS store or the Android Play Store. Please just have the app on your mobile devices and watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, of course. You saw me in the kitchen earlier on.
Yes.
Doing my thing.
With that
just,
apron on. Where's the apron? How did you get it off so fast?
Yeah. Some Superman moves there. Anyway, so Chef Nathaniel has joined us and he's already making something. We already cut up the gizzard and, so that's cooking.
Yeah.
We've spiced it up a little bit. So
tell us, Yummy. Tell us.
We spiced it up a little.
Chef Yummy.
Yeah. So we spiced up the gizzard a little bit, and that's cooking already. We put the plantains to boil. So today we're doing it a little bit different. We're frying the plantain.
Boiling
and then
plantain.
so we're frying some plantain and then boiling some, and then chopping everything up, mixing it together.
It sounds like it's going to be very tasty.
It's going to be nice.
But we still have to tell people what else we have on the show today. UK certified relationship coach Lakwe Suitor is going to be back with us today, talking relationships and how to position yourself to meet the right person for you. It's been a series of topics.
Yeah, over the past month or so. Now, right after that, Dr. Patrick Ijeria will be joining us to talk to us about wellness and the external environment.
Hopefully you've been following that as well. But on maternal health, we have Dr. Omololu coming in, and the doctor will be talking about postpartum hemorrhage. Very deep, important topic there, something you need to look out for.
And joining us for a discussion is actor and musician Segun Dada.
And on farming today, we have Seun Adetosoye back, continuing on this path of planting herbs, or is it herbs? I don't know what the correct pronunciation is these days. But we're going to be planting ginger today and seeing what's been happening with some of the other things we planted earlier in the month. But ginger root is really good, especially for people with sore throats like me.
Yeah. Now, it's a big week for SMEs, and we're going to be having a co-founder of a Northern Traditional Day Spa, Hadiza Nyako.
Then we'll also be talking about, we'll have someone joining us when it comes to successful business cash flow. And we have an entrepreneur and investor, Tade Cash, joining us in that particular discussion. A full package today, full package.
You know how we always talk about, or especially for Yomi, talk about the ladies looking good. Today is actually Beautician's Day. The people who actually do all the job.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Beautician, like all the people that get us all dolled up.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay.
So spa owners, makeup artists, hairstylists.
So a big shout out to all our makeup artists that are upstairs today. I don't know if they can hear us.
Yeah, hopefully they can.
So I saw Regina, I saw
Inkiru
this morning.
Yeah,
it's just two of them.
Yeah, and one of the hairstylists from Fola's Place as well.
And it was Ada yesterday. We also have Dupe. Okay, this is
Are you going to list everybody?
We are blessing. Blessing and Wumi also take care of the wardrobe besides makeup as well.
Then Joke and Justina.
We have Joke and Justina.
Okay, Justina is the crazy one with the short hair.
Wow, really? You're making
okay.
I just had to throw in there.
Yeah, I ain't part of that.
She's always looking for trouble.
But it's amazing what they do, and the truth is we need them. And you don't want to get any of them angry. The day you get them angry, you might just realize you're looking darker than usual.
No matter how angry you get them, they are professionals.
They'll use Yomi's color for Titi.
Yeah, and Titi's color for Yomi.
That would be a sight to see. We should consider doing that one of these days.
Yeah, I can actually look, light skin. If I wanted. You just wonder.
Yomi, just read the news.
If there's a new cream out there that gives you overnight transformation.
Are you trying to market a product you're about to put in the market?
Imagine if I bleached.
No, I can't.
Yomi, I just want to imagine you on the news right now. This thing is scary. I bet bleach, Yomi.
Light skinned Yomi. Omoibo.
Yomi, read the news.
All right. So we are back in the kitchen, and you're welcome. So I'm in charge of the kitchen this morning, and I've got Chef Nathaniel with me.
Man.
So talk to us about what we're doing, once again, for those who didn't hear us earlier on.
Okay. The meal that we're preparing today is Giz Dodo combo.
The Giz Dodo combo.
And
okay.
we're going to use both fried plantain and boiled plantain.
Fried and boiled plantain, so that's the difference.
That's the difference.
So you can see the ingredients on your screen there. Plantain, gizzard, bell peppers, onions, pepper mix, black pepper, olive oil, garlic, scent leaf, salt, seasoning, nutmeg, and rosemary. Anyway, so now, Chef Nathaniel, we've done some boiling with the
gizzard.
With the gizzard, we've already spiced it.
Yes. So
now we're about to fry
the plantain.
Okay.
And we have our pepper mix here, onions, garlic, and other ingredients. So
yeah, and I'm really interested in this scent leaves and what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, we're going to use it for when we are frying the pepper mix and adding the gizzard and the plantain. We're going to add the scent leaf.
Okay.
It also gives aroma and color.
And you were saying that you can do so many different things.
Yeah, you can even use it with tea.
Yeah,
or to even boil water with it and to drink because of the
health benefits. All right. So anyway, so we're going to be frying the plantain, and so the big difference in Giz Dodo mix is the fact that you're mixing boiled and fried plantain. And boiled plantain obviously is healthier.
Yeah, it's healthier. So because fried plantain is more like for fun. People like eating that. If you are frying plantain, they just say that you should not eat while you're frying because so as you're eating both the fried one and the boiled one, you are taking both health and happiness.
I like that. Health and happiness. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, so this is going to be going in there for frying.
Yes.
In a few minutes. So we're going to be frying this pepper as well, obviously. Yes. So frying the pepper, so it's after the frying of the peppers that we'll pour in the...
Yes, we'll pour in the gizzard that is already boiled.
Okay.
We're going to fry it with the vegetable oil, and we're going to add the bell peppers and tomato, and garlic, onions, and other spices.
Okay.
So we're going to add it with... We'll first fry the gizzard. We'll have already fried the gizzard also.
Yeah.
So we'll now add everything together.
Yeah, so we're still going to fry the gizzard with this as well. Okay, so that's fine. And anything else that we're adding? Okay, we're still going to spice. There's something else you said we're going to spice. That's this one, right?
Yes, we're going to, because we didn't use enough, we didn't use plenty seasoning for the gizzard.
For this one, yeah.
Since we're still going to fry the pepper, so it will not get in excess.
Much, yeah.
So we're going to add our black pepper, nutmeg, and rosemary. I like using nutmeg and rosemary because they are more like herbs. Very healthy spice.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, eating healthy food is very important because most times people eat junks, they don't know which one is good.
And we have, lots of this new fast food places opening.
Yeah, so just
coming
go there,
in from America and
just
Europe
eat
and
anything, and at the end of the day, we now spend money in the hospital.
Yeah.
So the money that we're looking for, we should use it to eat healthy food.
Exactly. So
with that, we spend less time in the hospital.
And you know what I discovered? When you eat healthy, it's even, a lot of times it's cheaper than when you buy junk food. So when you're buying pizzas or this huge packs of donuts
3,000, like 5,000.
Yeah, exactly.
With that, you can cook very healthy, maybe egusi soup or vegetable.
Yeah.
With very different vegetable. Once you eat that and you go and sleep, you're good.
I love it. So that's very, very good. So we're doing the Giz Dodo mix, and it's going to be very nice. We're just, in the next hour or so, we're going to have a perfect meal ready for you. Anyway, we're going to be taking a break now and be back for more on
Welcome back. Now, positioning is everything, they say, and to meet your ideal partner, you also have to position yourself to give that a chance to happen. Lakwe Suitor is a UK certified relationship coach and the author of several books. She's here to talk to us once again about finding the one, positioning yourself to meet your ideal partner. Welcome back.
Thanks, Titi.
This our topic has been getting a lot of great what's the word? Questions, inquiries. People are really interested in it. We started some weeks ago with some of your 7 steps to meeting the one.
Yeah.
Can we recap on it?
Yeah. So those are the 7 steps that are in my book, like I talked about, 7 steps to meeting the one. And the first is coming up with the characteristics of the one.
Yeah.
The second, like we're talking about, is
be the person. Okay. I'm gonna read now. I'm gonna cheat. It says bring that person to life.
Yeah.
Then be the person you want to be with.
Yes.
So you have to, you know, you can't just expect someone to be so
wonderful if you are not
packaged.
wonderful yourself.
Then take a break.
Yeah, that
for
we talked about last week.
A year or two.
Well, I suggested a year.
Yeah.
6 months to a year.
To figure out who you truly are.
Yeah.
And then now you're saying position yourself to meet your person.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've come this far. How do we begin to position ourselves to meet that person?
Okay, well, the one that I know often occurs to people is that, let's say, for example, a woman who wants to meet a rich guy. They always say, go to Polo Club, do this, do that. You understand? Which in a way makes sense. But if we're, like I always say, I'm not talking about how to get married because that is super easy. I'm talking about how to get married to the person that makes your heart sing. How to get married to the person that you'll be in a long-lasting relationship with. And for that, we have to go back to step one, which is coming up with the characteristics of the right person for you. I remember then I said, it's not about material things or things that can change, like beauty or money. So there's no need for you to be going to the Polo Club and things like that, because what we are looking for is the person that has the characteristics that you want, which are not physical things. So, for example, if you're thinking of somebody who is ambitious or someone who is bubbly, where do you think you would find those people?
Ambitious, bubbly people, right?
Yes, for example.
All right. So if I want to meet someone who I feel has vast knowledge in certain areas, maybe someone who reads a lot, you know, I would have said, you know, do I go to a library? I don't know. You know, I'm just trying to figure out where you're going.
That's the thing. You do have to be broad-minded, but you also have to think about this thing and go to places that also match your lifestyle. Because, for example, if you go to a library and you're not the kind of person that likes libraries, the person that you will be attracted to is someone that you're not going to like in the end anyway. You understand? So it also has to be something that matches your own personality. And even if you want someone that has a vast amount of knowledge, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is in a library. The person could be in a nightclub. People are complicated. They're not one-faceted. You understand what I mean? So you could actually meet the person at a work meeting. You could meet the person in your sister's house. You understand? But just have that impression in your mind and position yourself so that when you, for example, you do want to meet this person who has a vast amount of knowledge, but when you meet the person, what are you going to be talking about? Are you just going to talk about your hair? You understand? So positioning is not just about the physical thing, it's also about your mind.
All right, so I like what you just said now, you know, the topics I'm going to talk about. So me positioning myself, if for instance I was single, to meet that person, I also believe means you should be more open and receptive to advances.
Yes, of course.
So if someone makes a move or shoots their shot, as they say these days, a lot of ladies, well, I'm talking from the ladies' angle now, have been sort of been tuned to reject them first, reject that guy first. I beg, don't show him too much attention, you know, so that he doesn't feel you're too easy. So what's your opinion on that?
This is one of those things about games that women play. And that is such a broad topic. I know that we cannot cover it right now. But what you said also relates to step 6 in my book, which of course is available on my site, www.lakweshoton.com. And that is about being open-minded. So I can't count the number of times where a woman says, oh, when I first met him, I was just not interested. And then 2 years later, I found out they're married to him, and they're like, oh my God, he's so wonderful. He's just everything I wanted. That is why it is so important to be open-minded and not judge somebody just by the way they look or how they come across the first time. You understand what I'm saying? Which is what you were asking about vaguely.
So if a guy approaches a lady and, you know, maybe says, oh, baby, you're looking hot today. You know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
I'm just like, I wouldn't like that advance.
What I would advise, I totally understand what you mean. What I would advise is actually to enjoy the moment and look for something positive in that moment. Because, for example, you might end up not, obviously, perhaps you don't even fancy that person, but the person's best friend might just be the person for you. And if you had totally cut him off, you would have blocked off access to that person who you would have ended up marrying. Always be slightly open-minded. You never know where this person is going to come from.
All right.
Yeah.
Lakwe, it's always great having you in the studio. Once again, lakweshoton.com is where you can get more information on the 7 steps to meeting the one. We have to move on now. We have a conversation on standby with Yomi and Dr. Patrick Ijewere on wellness.
All right, I have here with me Dr. Patrick Ijere, who is an internal medicine expert and also a wellness specialist. Now, he's joining us this morning. He's been with us throughout the month of June, talking about wellness in general. Last week, we talked about internal wellness and internal environment. And today, we're going to be talking about wellness and the external environment. But let's just go over very quickly what we did last week for our viewers to just remember a quick recap.
Okay, quick recap. We defined wellness has 3 components. First, it's the absence of disease. Second, it's that balance, spirit, mind, and body. And thirdly, it's a joyfulness. It's a vibrancy, just enjoys life. Just
exactly, that's life. Vibrancy, which is really, really important. And then,
we looked at it from the spiritual, the mindset components. Then we look at the internal environment. Now, what goes on internally speaks a lot to our wellness, especially what kind of blocks, building blocks, we put into the internal system. So we talked about if it's high quality blocks, then cells rejuvenate, they regenerate. If you have poor quality blocks, a lot of junk food, for instance, you're asking for disease.
Exactly. We talked about junk food in the kitchen earlier. Now, we're talking about the external environment very quickly, and the fact that lots of people don't know that the external environment affects their wellness. So let's talk about that.
Okay. I'll start with a simple example we mentioned, I think, on the second show. When you walk into a park, a nice theme park, where there's lots of trees into the woods, there's a calm spirit.
It's just calm. Yes. You're hearing the birds, and it's almost
When you come out of the airplane at MMA, coming back to Nigeria, and you just step out, what hits you?
The sound, the noise, planes moving, and you just activity.
Yes. So there's a biochemical reaction. The outer environment, external, speaks to our internal environment and triggers certain hormones and neurotransmitters that affects us and results in our mood, our behavior, our attitude, and a lot of other things that people see, quote unquote, from us. Externally, there are 3 things we think of generally. We think of the water, we think of air, we think of the soil. Let's take on soil. Today, soil plays a huge role because of our unfortunate agricultural practices. In the soil, you have lots of life, whether it's microorganisms, it's earthworms, it's maggots, you name it. Those things are what keep the fertility in the soil.
Right.
So if we now put things in the soil that kill those things, such as pesticides, herbicides, and
some kinds of
chemical-based
fertilizers as well, yeah.
You destroy the mediators of soil fertility. So the food that is grown on that such soil is less nutrient dense. We consume it, we are nutrient deficient. So again, the external environment plays a lot into the internal environment. Let's look at the air. The air you breathe, the air I breathe, it's the same air. Same air Jesus Christ breathed 2,000 years ago. We're in the same ecosystem. So if we now pollute the air, the carbon, the nitrogen that we take in from the air goes into our cells, into whether it's carbohydrates or protein, it goes in. If you're taking in a lot of toxins in the air, we're also damaging our environment internally.
But if it doesn't now depend on where you live, because it's almost like you have no choice. You have to breathe. So whether you're in Lagos or you're in Lagos Island, wherever you are, you do have to breathe. So how do you ensure that you're breathing in the right air?
You have to breathe. So you start with the environment that you can control. Most of us, our homes are more toxic than outside. The air in our homes, in our cars, are more toxic than the outside air. They are off gases that come from our laundered clothes, come from our brand new leather sofas, that come from the household cleaners we use, whether it's the bleach cleaners or the other kind of
insecticides.
And things like that, yeah. Those things linger. Even a fresh painted house. I was in a hospital not too long ago. I was freshly painted. I was on their kidney floor. And my goodness, you could still smell the chemicals in the paint, which are actually deleterious, damaging to the kidney. The doctors did not know this. So start with the environment that you can control. Your office environment, your home environment, and your car. Especially if you have a tear-rubber, nice-smelling car. That tear-rubber smell is problem. Air the car out, air your home out. Make sure, don't go spraying air fresheners to cover
for another smell.
Exactly. Yeah. Air the house out. That is one.
At least that's one you can control. Yeah.
The ones outside that you can't control, we'll find other ways to deal with it, such as detoxifying the body, getting toxins out of the body, eating things that help the body clear those toxins out. So again, what you cannot control, you can ingest things to help your body get rid of those items.
Right. So one of the things that you also talked about in the second show was that noise. You know, sometimes you go to an area where there's a lot of noise, and that I discovered also that adds to stress.
Yes.
Because you talked about the fact that your body responds to this external stimuli. So talk to us about that and how to control it.
All right. With noise, again, there's noise you can control.
Yeah.
Whether it's your generator, your car,
yeah,
the folks in the office, and there's noise you can't control. Being able to quiet the mind. Some may say meditation, others may say just mentally detach yourself, take yourself out of the environment mentally, and just bring peace. So yes, even where there's noise we cannot control, the things you can do, but that noise doesn't translate into stress in the body, high cortisol, and irritability behavior. Noise you can control, control it. Fix that car, fix that gen, keep things quiet around the office.
Or turn the gen off once in a while.
And then create a counter noise that is beneficial to the body. Nice, soft, gentle music, soft instrumental jazz music, classical music. If you're like me, who loves music, steel band music, reggae music, puts a noise that is joyful to the body. Gospel music at a low level. And you find that you'll drown out
the other noise, and then your body relaxes as well. It's fantastic. I mean, so there are certain things that we can actually control that we don't know that we can, and we're not doing that yet. So hopefully from this information that our viewers are getting today, control your external environment, because it does affect your overall wellness. Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry, for joining us. It's been absolutely awesome. There's more Wake Up Nigeria after this.
All right, it's time for us to talk something very interesting, pertinent especially to pregnant women. Postpartum hemorrhage. It is the loss of more blood than is safe in the first 24 hours following the birth of a new baby. And I have Dr. Abiodun Fashino here to give more insight into this potentially dangerous state. Great to have you here, Dr. Fashino.
My pleasure.
Now, when we talk about postpartum hemorrhage, how would you describe that? Because we've just talked about the fact that it means abnormal loss of blood, but we would have thought that normally after delivery there's supposed to be loss of blood. Could you help expatiate on that?
Okay, postpartum hemorrhage is the loss of more than 500 mils of blood when you have a vaginal delivery, more than 1,000 mils of blood when you have a cesarean section. And there's something we call cesarean hysterectomy, in which the womb is removed because of bleeding during cesarean section. If you lose more than 1,500 mils of blood following that kind of surgery, it's described as postpartum hemorrhage, which means that you can actually lose some blood. Some blood can be lost immediately after delivery, but once it's more than certain volume, they will describe it as postpartum hemorrhage. And the reason is simple. If you don't lose up to 500 mils following vaginal delivery, it's not likely to affect your system in a way that will cause harm to you. If you don't lose more than 1,000 mil following cesarean section, it's not likely to affect your system in a way that will harm your system. And this loss of blood should be within the first 24 hours. Though there are two types of postpartum hemorrhage. We have the primary, which is within the first 24 hours. We have the secondary, which is after 24 hours, but before 6 weeks.
Okay.
After delivery.
I would have thought the secondary is the most common. Is it possible for someone to give birth and immediately, within 24 hours, no more bleeding?
No, the primary is more common. The secondary is rare, and most of the time it's due to infection. Okay. After delivery, after the baby has come out, the placenta separates. So immediately the placenta separates, the placenta bed contracts. That's spontaneously. Okay. And bleeding stops. But in some cases, because of one risk factor or the other that the woman has, the bleeding may not stop. If someone that has probably a retained placenta, probably placenta come out partially, definitely that woman will not stop bleeding. Someone that has a very big baby, the uterus is over distended. So after delivery, it will be difficult for that uterus to contract again. Someone that has what we call polyhydramnios. Polyhydramnios is when there is excess fluid that surround the baby, excess amniotic fluid. It extends the uterus in such a way that it's difficult for the uterus to contract and to stop bleeding. You may bleed small, or ideally you should. That's what we call low care, but it should not be more. It's just like your regular menstrual cycle.
Yeah,
the blood you lose.
but for some women, the regular menstrual cycle can last for a few days. So you say that's abnormal?
For some, when you break
after delivery.
I didn't get that.
When you have a baby,
okay,
you usually have your some kind of blood flow for a few days
local,
after. That's normal, right?
Local,
okay, I thought it was just 24
hours. It's not the
hours.
menstrual. It's local. You can have local up to 6 weeks after delivery.
Oh, it's up to,
yes.
but it's normal.
But most
still.
of the time, by 4 weeks after delivery, the local has to stop.
So there's no problem with that?
No, there's no problem.
Now, I'm a firm believer in prevention being better than cure.
Okay.
So we will talk about cure, but first, how can we even prevent this happening?
Postpartum
yes, postpartum hemorrhage.
The first is, as I said earlier, that most of the cases of postpartum hemorrhage that we have do have risk factors in women that present with this kind of case. Okay. But because they register in a place where they don't even know about the risk factor, they don't even know about postpartum hemorrhage. So the first thing is to register with a qualified medical practitioner that can actually pick these risk factors. That's one. Two, you register in a hospital where there are facilities for the management of this kind of thing. Because you may need blood transfusion. You may actually need surgery. You may actually need a surgery to remove your womb if the bleeding is so much. So you need to register in a place. If you don't register in a place where there are facilities for blood transfusion and surgery, you should register in a place whereby they can refer you immediately to that kind of facility. Okay. So if you observe all these three things I've said, there won't be any mortality from
So now
hemorrhage.
It's happened. How do we take care of it?
Ideally, when a patient comes to the hospital with risk factor or something, for all patients, we give them what we call oxytocin. It's a drug that immediately after delivery, we give it to them. But most of the cases that are referred to the hospital, probably they didn't give, or they gave when the woman started bleeding. Okay. So if it happens, we make sure we give oxytocin again. Okay. Then we put up drip and hard oxytocin there to be flowing for like 4 hours. Okay. But at times it may not stop. So it may get to the level of passing what we call balloon into the uterus and inflate it. If it doesn't work, we get to the level of doing surgery. And the surgery depends. When we get there first, we may just tie the womb, put suture there to squeeze it. If it doesn't work, we may go for the uterine arteries. The arteries that supply the uterus, suture them together. Of course, they have tributaries they can grow again. But if that one doesn't really work, there's some other things we can do. But the final thing we do is just to remove the uterus. So either total or
the best thing to do if you happen to be a patient of this, or you have someone dear to you is a patient, is to go to the hospital.
Yes, hospital.
Okay, there's something else that interests me. Okay. When you talk about hemorrhage, of course, immediately blood comes to mind. And women have been made to believe through the years that when you have a big tummy, after delivery, it means probably you didn't, in Yoruba they will say, you didn't do the pressing for the tummy. You didn't let the blood come out properly. Is this true?
That's not true. What happens is that before you get pregnant, your uterus is just 100 grams. It's about 100 grams. When you are pregnant, your uterus becomes 1,000 grams. So after delivery, you still retain part of it. You retain like 40 to 50 grams of the weight you gain. Okay. Each pregnancy. So, but at the same time, you gain weight through accumulation of fat and fluid. Okay. Of course, after delivery, when you do exercise, you can lose some of these fats. Yeah. Whereas the fluid goes down over time, latest by 6 weeks. Okay. That one is natural to go by itself. But the weight you gain through accumulation of fat. Yeah. You can lose that one through exercise. But the weight you gain through the increase in the size of uterus, there's nothing you can do about it.
Are you serious?
Yes, that's why you see people that have 5 children or more, they have bigger tummy. The more children you have, the bigger your tummy after delivery. Okay,
because the uterus expands. It continues to expand.
It has to expand.
So it's not really about your tummy. It's about the uterus itself.
It's not about it. It's not about it. Those different people respond differently to
because I've seen some people with 5, 6 children who have really flat tummies. But it doesn't apply to everybody.
No.
So this is for the benefit of those who think their wives are lazy when it comes to exercise. These things happen. Like it's actually not a natural occurrence. So the uterus during pregnancy goes from 100 grams to 1,000 grams
to accommodate the baby, the placenta, and the fluid, the amniotic fluid.
And that's elastic, man. Yes. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Fashino. You know, you said the hospital is now much better. Yes. I don't want to mention the hospital because that's where I was born, and I don't want people going to find out where.
You like the place.
I'll be looking forward to paying you a visit. Thank you so much, Dr. Fashino. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be moving on now. Titi has a guest with her. Let's head over. Hi, Titi.
Yes, I do. Not just any guests, a guest who is an actor, musician, songwriter, and model, popularly known as Jago. Now, he's been delivering spellbinding performances on stage in Lagos and abroad, such as Waka the musical, Legends and Moremi the musical. He's best known for his role as Bada on MTV Sugar. And apparently, he's the producer of the soundtrack for Bling Lagosians.
Yay!
What's the profile? Boom, 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 boom. Wikipedia page. Wow, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I love what you're wearing, by the way.
Yes.
Turtleneck under,
Dashiki.
Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Afro.
I'm gonna work towards this look sometime soon.
Thanks.
So welcome. So now, working on stage must be thrilling, exhilarating for the viewer.
Absolutely.
For the actor, what is it exactly that drew you into theater?
It's a journey. It's a journey started with, when I was a teenager. Watching all the Disney cartoons from Lion King to Jungle Book.
Okay.
So I and my siblings used to make those funny voices, try to speak like the cartoons.
Wow.
And then I got into school, and all I could think about was theater, the stage, the film, the camera, just being there in front of people and expressing myself. So, yeah, and then I got into theater. I remember this one time when I went for the audition for Waka with Bolanle Austin Peters, and I was there fresh out of service from theater school, and I was going into the audition room, and I took off my shoes and my socks, and I went in there because, in theater, we're expected to not wear your shoes on stage. So I went in there, I took off my shoes, and she was looking at me like, so why did you take off your shoes? I'm like, it's the theater training, man. Yes, and then she was like, okay, so what do you have? What do you have for me? So it was kind of like a improvised session. So there were two other guys, and she was like, okay, I'll give you a situation. The guy on your left has been owing you money.
Okay.
The guy on your right, you have been owing him money.
Okay.
Now, you want to travel, and these guys met you at the airport.
Oh,
This one is saying, wait my money, and you need to get your money from the other one, so action. Oh, that day.
Okay.
I was looking for work. I tore those guys apart. The one that was owing me and the one that was owing, it was. So I left that audition room, and she was like, where's that guy? Call him back. Okay, can you sing me a song? And that moment when all the songs in the world just vanish from your head. The only thing that came to my mind was Alicia Keys.
Wow,
and I just sang it. I keep on falling. I just sang the thing.
And as you sang that, it just led me, I just feel like asking you to give us a monologue. You have to give us a monologue of something you performed. A short one, monologue. Not a long one, a short one.
Okay, let's see. Monologue. Did you see Moremi?
I'm sorry, I haven't seen it yet, but go ahead.
Here's your Moremi.
All right.
I am Lord Majestic, glorious and graceful. I do and undo. This I do. Now my favorite is heir to the stool. I tell her no lies. I bear all truth. I tell her no lies, just the truth. Oba, Oba ni mi, Oba lashe, Oba, bring in the masked raider. We are men playing gods. We are smart, we are swift, we are tough, and you don't see us come till with you we are done. We are men.
Woo! Okay,
yes,
now I feel like watching that play right now.
You should.
I do. Goodness. But it must have taken a while. Okay, I know you've been in the industry for about a decade now, but to get to this stage, to give us some pointers, anyone who wants to climb up the way you have.
First of all, they say talent isn't enough. You need to have the passion for it. You need to want to go there on a rainy morning like this. You need to want to wake up every day knowing that you want to show the world what you've got. There will be days when they say no. There'll be days when they say, oh, we're not looking for that kind of character. There'll be days when there'll just be like too many people, at the auditions. You just have to encourage yourself and know that this is what I want to do and have the passion to keep going after it. Then, of course, you need some training. I was fortunate to go to study theater arts in the university. And you need some training. If not the university, get some theater training, in acting, some workshops.
I have to say a big thank you to you for coming to perform for us today, come to talk to us. I know that you were involved in Bling Lagosian as a producer of the
I did a soundtrack for Bling Lagosian.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait for the movie to come out.
It's coming.
But we have to take a quick break. Goodness me, I wish we didn't have to. That's it for this hour. And the last hour is going to resume in a bit. This is Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. It's still your favorite breakfast show. Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, still a number of things to come on the show. We hope that you have stay tuned with us. 2 hours has passed already. Wow.
Sharp, sharp.
Quick one. It's a quick one. And it's actually raining in some locations in Lagos.
Please take care on the roads.
So take care on the roads, drive safely, don't drive too fast, and don't splash mud on someone along the way.
We'll talk about that later.
You know how somebody splashes mud and then they'll now wave at you.
Yeah.
Sorry. But they've passed.
And you're wearing one white lace like that.
Yeah, so be careful on the roads if you're driving, and be conscious of other road users.
My name is Titilayo Oyinso.
And I'm Yomi Owope.
Now, another way you can watch us is to live stream with us. Please join our e-community. Use our website, that's tvcontinental.tv, or Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria to send in comments. And of course,
the TVC app is also available for download on the Google Play Store and the Apple iStore as well. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world. Now, when you want to search for the app, because I know a number of people have asked online, when you want to search for the app, look for TVC Connect. That's the app you're looking for.
Yes, indeed. TVC Connect, TVC Entertainment.
Yeah, so some people type Television Continental, so that.
Yeah, TVC, it's important you know that. We're going to be getting our hands dirty very soon, all you green thumbs. We're going to be planting some ginger root today. Seun Adetosoye is going to be right here to show us how.
Yeah, now for SME as well, Hadiza Nyako will be here as well. She is the CEO, or co-founder, of Hannah's Place and Clay Authentic African Shop. African food shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Henna Place and the Clay African Food Shop are some amazing establishments. I've been there myself. Loved it. And,
I should get some henna done.
Really? It might not show on your skin, or
that's a low blow.
All
okay.
Right. We will also have the Cashman, Taddy Cash, joining us on the SME session for some insight into the world of business. Yeah. Sorry now, boy, henna is dark now. If it was gold.
And she's still talking about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Gold. That's women, when they're getting married, they still get the henna done. Yeah. You just wanted to shade.
I grew up in Kaduna. I'd like to meet Hadiza and just find out. Let's speak our language.
Maybe Yomi should do this.
Let's relate in a language that we both understand.
So you speak Hausa very well?
Oh, yeah.
Fluently? Or just basic?
No.
Or just, when you're applying for a job, the options they give you.
I can speak French, no. Well, I can speak Hausa, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in Lagos for a while, but yeah, I'm still.
What languages can you speak, Titi?
Well, English is my first language. I always tell people that because I started.
Can you imagine?
No, I started learning Yoruba when I was about 11, 12 years old. That's learning it, like actually conversing with it.
Yeah.
Then I was doing French in school for throughout secondary school in QC, French, because I would always select French whenever they asked. Then
you speak French?
I did 3 or 4 years in the Polytechnic, did French throughout.
Okay.
Then I did 5 years in university, I did French throughout. So. Okay. Yeah, I can speak French. I can speak.
How come you've never spoken French?
I can speak French.
Maybe can speak
okay, why
French.
do you keep repeating it? I'm becoming
She's trying to convince herself that
I can say I did too much French school to not speak.
So the issue with languages is that continuous
practice.
Continuous practice
Yes.
is really, really important. Like you can lose a language after a long time of. So what I try to do in Lagos, because I've been in Lagos for over 20 years, so is to try to converse with people who speak Hausa. So, for instance, the security guard, and the strange thing always happens with my old house. The security guard wanted to learn English from me.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to brush up my Hausa, so I had to just, give it to him that, okay, you know what?
So
since you want to learn how to speak
English,
English.
happened to me last weekend, and it's put me in such a good way. Last Wednesday, we had a chef, Chef Yabez, and he's a French guy, he's francophone.
Yeah.
And so I can't remember what caused it. He said something in English, and I was like, French, like you speak French, like I know that accent anywhere. And it was so exciting for me because throughout, the only time we ever spoke English throughout the kitchen was when we were on air.
You were speaking French throughout.
Conversing in French. And at the end, it was like, are you sure you haven't practiced in 9 years? And I was like, I hardly get to practice. I have a few colleagues who actually speak French. And then sometimes when people come, they speak French. But it can be quite a struggle.
So please take
when you're
notes.
trying to get back all your words.
All those words. But somehow they come easily.
I need you to take note of something. I said I studied French. I did not say I passed. I said I studied.
You know, I was actually going to speak French to you. I was going to say, okay, I'm going to make it easy for you. Let's have a quick French class. A quick reminder.
Hell no.
So, Titi.
A quick brush up.
Titi,
no.
tu parles français. That's simple enough. Tu parles français?
Oui.
Tu parles français? Okay. Quel est ton nom?
I think I'm just gonna rescue.
Quel est ton nom? Oui, Titi, no, you didn't. Oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
You're welcome to the garden right here on Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for us to do some gardening basically. I've got Sheun Adetosoye with me. This morning we will be dealing with ginger. So what do we need to do?
All right, before we start with ginger, this was the turmeric we planted about a month ago here. It's not even up to a month.
Oh,
we
wow.
planted it on this show, so I just had to bring it. So the viewers at home, I hope the camera can pick
Wait, this is that turmeric that we did the other day?
Yes, May 29th to be precise. So it's going to be 1 month on Sunday.
Wow, I feel like I just gave life to something besides, having children.
All right, so this was the turmeric we planted, and they belong to the same family. So we are planting ginger today.
Okay, so let's plant our ginger.
All right, because it's, this has started sprouting in my kitchen. Remember the turmeric we planted
was also sprouting.
Exactly.
Yes.
So planting ginger, I don't need to bury it too deep into the soil.
Why is that?
Because I don't want, it doesn't need a deep root.
Okay.
And then it doesn't have to be also on the surface so that the sun will not dry it up.
Okay.
Okay, so not too deep.
So this is fine?
Yes, this is fine.
Wow.
About 1 inch deep.
Okay.
And then I can plant it anyhow. So it really doesn't matter. Then I cover it up.
Are there ginger seeds, just like turmeric seeds?
No. These are the ginger from my kitchen.
It. Okay, fantastic.
So we don't have...
Because I remember the last time you said the turmeric can take ages.
No. If it's not sprouting from the kitchen table, do you understand? That was what I said.
Okay.
So in another 8 months to 10 months, we should be harvesting this.
8 to 10 months.
Yes.
We would
Same
wait
with,
that long to have our ginger.
Yes. In gardening, you have to be patient.
You have to be patient, eh?
So that's just it, and then we water. So keep it under a cool place. It doesn't need too much sun. We shouldn't expose this to too much sun. And then if you can mulch is getting your grass and then just cover it, cover the sand on top.
Okay, so I go out there, get grass, and cover it up.
Yes.
What does it do?
Now it adds as compost to the soil.
Okay.
And then it also
provides shade.
Yes, shade. And so it does not allow the water, to go off. When you expose it to sun, it doesn't vaporize quickly. Yes, it doesn't allow the water. So it just makes the ginger or the turmeric to be in a very cool environment.
Do we do the same for the turmeric as well?
I didn't do it, but you can also do it. Yes.
Okay. Now I noticed this. This is due to pests.
Yes.
How can we prevent this?
Oh, I think I've discussed about that. So it depends on the type of pest. But one major thing we use is neem oil. That's the dongoyaro tree, which is very useful. So you can extract oil from it and spray it. Or we can also make what we call pepper ginger solution. Your dry pepper at home, ginger, garlic, soak it, and then add a little bit of your black pepper black soap, so that the solution can stay on the plant. Soak it for 24 hours and then spray on your plants.
Okay, but it doesn't do any harm to
No, it
consumption.
doesn't. You must spray it early in the morning or late
in
at
the
night.
evening. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to wait for 8 months, as you said.
Before we can harvest, between 8 to 10 months.
So how often do we get to harvest? Forever?
Once.
Like
No.
once. So when we harvest the first one, we'll have to replant it.
You have to replant.
There's nothing
or
like...
you can have... No, I planted 2 now.
Okay.
So when I'm going to harvest, I should have a very big bulb that I
Okay.
can cut, into different pieces and then use in the kitchen. And then I can decide to plant in about 2, 3, 4 pots.
Oh, okay. So that's just about it for ginger, of course. And then looking at our turmeric, I really feel proud of myself because I was there when it was being planted. I feel like I just had a newborn, but this is great stuff. So it will take us a month to achieve this with the ginger as well.
Yes, please.
Also, they take the same period
they
of
belong
time.
to the same family.
Okay.
So
okay. So basically 8 months. So we have 7 months to go here and 8 months to go
between
here.
7 to 8 months. I said between 8 to 10 months.
To 10
so
months.
we should be able to harvest
Okay.
our ginger as well as our turmeric.
Okay, great. So in a month's time, hopefully we'll see how far this ginger has gone, perhaps matching up with the turmeric. Many thanks to you, Shenwade Tosue. Always a pleasure to talk farming with you. We're moving over now to Titi, who's on standby. Hi, Titi.
Yay. Welcome back. Now, all you green thumbs, hope you've learned a thing or two. In the studio today, we have Hadiza Nyako. Now, she is the co-founder of the Henna Place, the first northern Nigerian luxury traditional day spa in Lagos. Now, she's also part founder of Clay Authentic African Food Shop, which promotes the demand for local African foods, drinks, and snacks. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Then we also have Mr. Taddy Cash, the cash man in the building.
Thank you.
I love the name, but I have to keep telling you that.
Yeah,
and he's going to give us some insight into some, business strategies to make sure that growth is continuous. Welcome to the show, both of you. Let's talk about this amazing spa. Okay, so I'm already a fan. I'm already such a super fan. I'm going to try and be very objective here.
Yeah.
Please just tell us the story. How did the Henna Place start?
We started Henna Place about 5 years ago. Okay. I've always been interested in skincare and wellness and taking care of yourself. I started working in a bank, and once I got pregnant and decided to start having a family, I just decided that I wanted to do something for myself. I've always been interested in opening up a spa, but I thought more maybe something that was Moroccan spa or something that was borrowed culture. But when I moved to Lagos, I realized that there's really nowhere that we can get things that we take for granted in the north. Okay. For example, somebody coming in to do your henna, somebody coming in to do your wax. Okay. All that is done in the north, but they do it for you at home. I was just thinking, instead of doing something that is not really our culture, why don't I set up different body treatments and then put it all together and have it somewhere that you can just come and get it done.
All right.
And that's how Henna Place started.
It feels like you were filling a gap.
Yes.
And I believe you've done very well. You have how many branches now?
We have three across Lagos here, and within the space of 5 years.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Now, I have to say, that to start a spa in Lagos, there's quite a lot you need to know. Was there any research involved before you took that?
Yes, we really did. I asked a lot of people, so not research per se, not in terms of like, I knew I lived in Lekki, so I wanted it to be around where I lived. But the main thing I kept wanting to find out was, are people even interested in waxing? Do people go to other spas to get like chemical wax or whatever type of wax that you do at home? what do people normally do for their skincare routine? So just sort of asking different people what they felt about it, really.
All right. So I've actually thought about it myself. And, you know, I did go online. And for anyone out there who's thinking about starting a spa business, it's as simple as opening up your Google app and typing in how to start a spa business. It's as simple as that. And I know that you'll get some incredible insights. Like, for instance, if I type it in now, how to start a spa, the first thing that pops up is creating a business plan for your spa, which is some advice that people get regularly from people like you, Mr.
Yes, because planning is thinking on paper. So if you really want to make anything work, you know, when you begin to write what you want to do, you become more exact. And then when you become more exact, clarity comes in, and clarity creates speed. And that's what most people don't have in terms of trying to get things done. So planning, which is business plan, is about thinking on paper, because a lot of people assume a lot, and assumption is very expensive. So you don't have to assume that things will work, but when you begin to put it on paper, you begin to see the, you know, the reality of what you want to get done, and that's why it begins from that. You know.
Okay, so it's interesting you should talk about you know, your business in this way, because the next point that comes up when I Googled how to start a spa is consider or determine the services you will offer and the income you need to generate. That's the second thing that comes up. If I type it in one more time, you'll see it right there. Yeah, first thing is determine the services you will offer and the income you want to generate. How were you able to determine or streamline that, okay, I was going to do henna, wax, and this and that? Because I know you offer a lot of services.
Yeah, so typically in the north, when you're getting married, you sort of have like a 1 week or a few days body treatment just to take care of your skin. And it includes waxing, body scrubs, and these are all done for you like a few days before you get married. So we just decided to put those things together. The last thing that is done for you when you're getting married, well, the typical Ariwa bride or the northern bride, you see is henna. And so after waxing, it's henna. So we just decided to put those different things together and come up with like a treatment. So.
But it's such a long list. How did you know that this was going to work and this wouldn't work? For instance, I know there is a particular treatment you give where women are supposed to sit on a potty of sorts. And there's a potty of sorts, and there's supposed to be some internal cleansing going on. I'm not really sure how it works, but how were you sure that you could market such a product? You know, it's it's delicate, something you can't really talk about all the time.
To be honest with you, as I said, it's all part of my culture. So I think the challenging thing for us was, will people in Lagos embrace it? Because it's a new concept for them. It's not something that is new in Ariwa. It's not something that is new in the north. But here it was more getting people to try it. Some of this, like you mentioned, the hand smoke bath. There's even like a Japanese way of doing it, like an Asian way of doing it. But we've had, we've had these things for years.
You've heard of this? Okay. So I'm going to throw it to you now. But this is a luxury service. It's not an FMCG. It's not something that's fast moving. So how would you suggest someone market a product like what she said?
No, you know, fat makes us to nod our heads, story makes us to move our hearts. So if you want to make people buy into an idea like this, you must be able to craft your story. And it's a story moves beyond tribes. Story is universal. So when you begin to tell the story of the benefits that people stand to get, a lot of people begin to fall in love with this, and then it goes viral. And because this kind of business have to have a story behind it. So every time you are moving out, it's all about telling the story. The health benefit has a story, you know, the beauty benefit has a story, and all of these things have to be put together. And that's what we call personality statement, which the word called branding, because it's your story that creates your personality statement. So people know this story, and then they begin to tell each other, and that is what you really need to do, because that's where the money is. Because when people buy a story, they don't mind price, because story goes beyond price.
And as I mentioned earlier, we really didn't do much market at the beginning. We based it more on people coming to experience it, enjoying it, and telling other people about it. So it's more like it's speaking for itself.
You know what? There's still quite a lot for us to talk about. If you are interested in more, you should stay right there. We're going to return after this short break. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria. Now on our SME week today, we have another amazing guest. We have the co-founder of the Henna Place. Now, if you are interested in starting your own spa, and maybe we can help you fuel your hustle, all you have to do is open up the Google app and search how to start a spa business, and it'll give you a long list of things that you need to do to make sure that you're getting it right. And we know it's not always as easy as ABC, but with some advice from Google, you might be able to get started on the right track. We also have Mr. Tade Cash in the building here to give us a little insight into some business tips that could help. Welcome once again to the studio.
Thank you.
Hadiza. I know that your spa, the Henna Place, is limited or restricted to women only.
Yeah.
Now this is, it was a question for me. How are you sure you can market this brand and only limit it to women? Were you ever worried about this?
Well, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
Not at all?
Initially, maybe we thought, okay, we should have included men because we get a lot of requests. Oh, I want to come in with my partner, or I want to come in with my husband. And, it kind of worried me a little bit, but we wanted it to, my idea, I didn't want it to be like any other spa. I needed it to be like a safe place for women. You can walk around however you feel like walking around, with knowing that there is no man that is going to come around.
Okay.
So I have a salon in the spa. It's a women-only place. I hire only women, and even if a maintenance person is coming, they have to let them know that somebody is going to come in. So it's just,
So you were never worried about this, and this hasn't affected your, profit margin?
There are other spas that take men. So, I haven't really given it much of a
She seems
thought.
very confident about her choice.
Because she has a niche, and the statistics have shown that we have more women than men. So that gives an advantage, in terms of doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you are in business and you want to please everybody, you will experience what we call economic traffic. Because many a time things begin to happen because you are trying to do what other people are doing. But if you could find your niche, then you can be rich. And that's what she has done.
Oh, I like that. Somebody tweet that. Find your niche, you can be rich.
Yes,
but there are some people that would need some insight into how to market a business like this, because it's not a business you see everywhere. It's something very, very niche, as you said. And if you need some help, you can always go to Google. Just type in marketing tips and tricks. And the first thing that pops up when I type that in is, for beginners, understand your customer. Understand your customer. And then, of course, email marketing. Since it's a very niche market, emails will definitely work for someone like you as well.
Social media has been amazing. So
great.
Apart from word of mouth, I think at the beginning we only had social media. So
what about understanding your customer? Was there something you were trying to offer at any point in time to the customers that were coming in that they just weren't buying?
At the beginning, I think we had some chat. We really didn't know how well it would go.
Okay.
We just thought we'll keep it small. So we had a lot more traffic than we anticipated. The first 2 years, I was in a very small location. And the steam rooms we had were like individual steam rooms. You just go in like those little, but I realized that was not working for me. So with business, I feel like you always have to kind of tweak as you're going along, keep correcting your mistakes and making things better.
There's another question I have on standby for you. Being a co-founder, meaning you have a partner in this business. Now, Mr. Tade would know a thing or two about partnerships in business.
Definitely.
If someone out there is watching now and they want to partner with someone to start a business, how would you advise them?
What happened is that partnership works is people that don't know how to work together. And therefore, partnership to work, they have to be what we call a code of honor. Can two work together except they agree? So when there is no agreement code, partnership can never work. So many times people often say, man, partnership does not work. No, just like the way someone would say, I can't work with this person. It's based on values, it's based on understanding each other, it's based on can we really work? Do we have the same philosophy? Do we have the same ideology? Does our value match? If those things are not there together, do we have the same wealth genotype? Does your genotype about money comes with my genotype about money? Because some folks want to spend, some folks want to keep. So if those things don't match, at the end of the day, it's going to create crisis. But partnership is a very wonderful multipliers effect in business because you can't do everything. All of us have weaknesses, and what happens is that you cannot source your weakness, and that's why you have to do partnership based on strength finding.
So you found your strength. I guess your strength is in the treatment. So am I wrong?
Yes. Both of us bring something to the table in terms of partnership. We're both women. Okay. We even plan when we're having babies.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's when I'm away to have a baby, or what she takes, she can take care of the business side of things. So we've been quite lucky in what we have that it works. We both put in the same equal amount of money, so we've grown the business together. We both have the same vision for the business, and I think that's really important, as you mentioned. So yeah.
So there's never been any difficulties at all along this 5-year journey?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Okay. We started clay because we saw that there was a need for it, and in clay, she's actually stronger than I am. Okay. We're driving the business for clay, and we've sort of separated what each person does within the organization. So she's more to do with branding, making sure it's presented well. I'm more to do with running the business day to day and the finances and things like that. So we really don't have
I have
much of
to
an
say,
issue.
really well done. I've been there and I always feel comfortable. So there's something, my husband is a big fan of there's this shea butter with oud.
The oud, yeah.
My goodness, he just loves it, and you know I'm now a customer. Speaking of unique products like that, that's something you can't find everywhere. Yeah. It's also a risk. It's a risk. So yes, I wanted to head towards risk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happened is there are two dimensions to it. What she has and what they have going for them is amazing. And for my money brain, I'm already thinking that they have to begin to look how they can take it global. Because if you really, really want to be highly profitable doing this business, you have to be confident enough to know that whatever is possible here is possible somewhere else.
You know, the funny thing is we keep getting requests on DM, open in South Africa, open in Ghana, open in...
And based on the risks, you have to know some of the certain things that is being done. Yeah. And I think in your business, you need to have some certain disclaimers. Because if you don't have some certain disclaimers, it could be very challenging for you, you know, along the way.
I'm trying to grow organically. Let me try and fix all my mistakes.
Speaking of doing things organically, we have some very tasty organic food in the kitchen that's been prepared by today's chef. I have to say thank you so much for coming to talk to us
today.
Thank you
for having us.
And for those that are trying to fuel their hustle, use that hashtag fuel your hustle and you'll find out loads of information that's been put out there online just for you to help in your business ideas. Thank you. Let's head to the kitchen and have a taste of what the chef has been working on. Mr. Tade, thank you so much for joining us. All right.
Hey, people.
We should.
And Mr. Dada is here.
Welcome to Yomi's place.
Please take a seat.
Where we ensure that you eat healthy. Welcome.
And this is for you.
Please have a seat over here.
Okay.
And we prepared something special for you today.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. It's called the Giz Dodo Mix, and the big difference within this one is that we fried some parts of the dodo and we cooked some parts of it to give it more, you know, that health. Okay. You can see we've decorated it as well very nicely for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Now this is Chef Nathaniel who made this happen. So talk to us.
So this is basically Giz Dodo combo. And we have fried plantain and boiled plantain. Okay. We mix both of them with our gizzard. And we fried our gizzard, we spiced everything up with bell pepper, onions, and
olive oil. I remember that one.
with oil.
Olive oil.
To make it more healthy.
Yeah. Okay, so
we're going to have the lady taste first. And
perfect.
If she likes it, then the gentleman will follow.
Just give them.
It's my show.
Put the food in front of them.
Okay, yeah. So
tempting us.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. So what do you think?
Actually, really nice.
Really nice. You see?
Really nice.
You see, so the lady has spoken.
Yeah.
And she knows her food. She knows her food.
Yeah, she does.
I'm a bit of a
I'm waiting
foodie.
for action.
Oh, okay.
Action.
Action, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, did anybody
All right,
notice
so while that is going on.
TVC
Oh,
on the plate?
On the plate.
TVC and
The carrots and the cucumber.
While that is going on, we have to start rounding off things here on the show. A big thank you to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
And of course, as always, we will be back tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. right here on TVC. If you missed anything, not to worry, it's going to be up on YouTube in a few hours. And of course, you can always follow our clips on all social media. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria. Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Back tomorrow, Thursday.
Have a great day, y'all.
Have a great day,
Bye-bye.
everyone.